How's it, guys? This is Davey, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League deadline stream. I did the intro to my videos there, I do apologize. So welcome to the deadline stream for double game week 7. Just let me know if the audio and the video are sounding fine. Also let me know if the background music is at a suitable level, and then we can jump into all this double game week 7 goodness. I can't lie to you, I don't have much double game week 7 goodness in my team. My team is pretty kind of set at the current moment, but let's hope that we do maybe get some early Saka or Arsenal team sheet news. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your Saturday. We're back to kind of the early morning Saturday streams. I'm just going to pull up the chat here for you guys. Not for you guys, maybe for myself. And then everyone is saying that the audio is sounding good. Audio is as crisp as ever, well, hopefully. I am still in my old setup currently. But exciting news, the new setup is currently being built. Screen a little blurry, nothing major. Is it the screen or is it myself? Because if it's myself, it just means the camera went out of focus. So let me just check. Let me just bring this up on the main screen. Okay, screen is a bit blurry. Okay, let's see. Let's watch this magic here. Let's see if we can try and get this to work. So usually this works, but this might not now. So does that look better? Do I look a little bit more crispy now? Just let me know in the chat if it looks a little bit better. It should, but yeah, I just kind of changed it. Sometimes it goes out of focus, but I put it back into focus. So let me know if that looks better. Okay, cool. We've got some questions already, some guys in chat. Thank you, Harry, for saying the audio is crisp as ever and SH as usual. Doesn't even have to say audio and video, just says A and V now. A and V, Gucci, thanks a lot for that one. And also thanks, Harry. Harry, just let me know if it looks a little bit better now. It might have actually looked better when I was blurry. I don't think you want this in full definition, but I mean, at least just let me know if it looks a little bit better. So we've got lots of questions here already in the chat. If you guys want to vote on the poll, it's very one-sided at the moment. We've had 150 votes, 95% of you saying that you are captaining Haaland, and 5% saying Morris. Are there any other captain options? I don't exactly think so. For myself, it's between these two options. To be honest, I think between these you can kind of find your captain. But if you guys are captaining someone outrageous, let me know in the chat, but I think most of us will probably be going between these two options. So other questions though in chat, a lot about -4s. If you guys, I'll get on to my team shortly. But Tamina's saying, should I take a -4 for Cho out for cash? That just depends simply on if you have bench coverage. If you have a good bench defender that you can just play, I wouldn't take the -4, but if you don't, the -4 is fine. And then Saka out, Diaby in, that's going to all depend on early team sheet news. So that's what I'm currently waiting for. Solomon is also asking that, he's saying Saka to Son for a free transfer or roll. I would just kind of, this is all going to depend on early transfer news. At the current moment, the latest news as possible is that we know that Saka trained yesterday and he was pictured with the Bournemouth team yesterday afternoon. So as you guys know, they're traveling to Bournemouth. It's an away game, so we would have seen the kind of arrivals, and Saka was with the squad. Do I think that Saka is going to be kind of only watching the game if he was traveling? No, I think he would have just stayed at home, but he could always be benched, and that's the big concern at the current moment. So yeah, so I'll get to all of those kind of Saka questions, but at the current moment, with the information that's in front of us, I would keep Bukayo Saka because I do think he's going to play. But as we do get closer to the deadline, that might change, to be honest. Taranga is saying, hi Davey, big man, you didn't do the Chol move. Okay, so I have done the Chol move. This is kind of my team from last week. Let's go on to my team of this week. Sorry, I just went simply to the points tally. Let's go to the pick team metric. And you guys can see I have done the Trippier move. That's going to be Kieran Trippier in for Chilwell. I did that last night. If you guys are on the Legend members, you would have had that transfer. But yeah, we just did it last night because Chilwell was going to rise and Trippier was going to rise in price. Chilwell wasn't going to drop. We could have always absorbed another drop, but with the Trippier price rise, there was no reason quite not to do it. I was actually looking at some other options. The big one that was concerning me is that at the current moment, you guys can see the value in the bank right up there, 1.6 million. That's not as much as I would have liked if I was going to go for kind of a Mo Salah in next game week or the week after. I would have liked a bit more value or cash in the bank, and I was kind of going between Fabian Schär and Diego Dalot from United. Those two options are a little bit cheaper than Trippier, but what I thought about at the moment, I don't necessarily have to have a Salah plan, and if I was to go for Mo Salah, I'm going to take Haaland out because I want to captain Mo Salah then most game weeks. So that's what my current kind of backup plan is. It's not the best plan at the moment because Haaland, obviously, as you guys know, is a very good option, but yeah, that's what we have to deal with. Also want to give a shout out, we do have the chocolate milk back on stream. A little bit of a plugged promotion, but I'm not sponsored, don't worry. But that was the good luck charm in previous seasons, so you guys know what that means. This is going to be an absolute banger of a double game week 7, and hopefully we get a bunch of points. So otherwise, let me know what your guys' teams are looking like. As I said, I've done the one transfer. If we get news that Saka's benched, I might do the next move, and that's going to be Saka to Heung-min Son. Could also be Saka to Maddison, but I just prefer Son almost kind of as a differential, kind of a captaincy option next week, because Haaland plays Arsenal then. So, I don't know. Gasp, I just saw your question before you retracted it. No, this is not a free hit. This is my actual team, but I take that as a compliment. If this team looks like a free hit, which I don't think it does, but if it looks like a free hit, that means we're doing something right. Okay, so Salah is saying Chilwell for Tripperoni. Oh, so we bought Tripperoni in the squad. I don't exactly know if I would call him Chilwell. He's almost been kind of a bust for us in the past few game weeks, but Tripperoni is going to be an absolute steal at his price tag. I mean, just slap that foreign flag on him and his price goes up anyways. So, yeah, but I like that message. Thanks for that one, Salah. Barry's saying, is there any news on the Maddison injury? So, the news from the Spurs manager was that Son and Maddison have both trained this full week. So, my take on that is that he's perfectly fine. But what he did kind of caveat it with is that he said they're obviously going to have to see the reaction from the Friday session. But managers always say this. What they're basically saying there is that as long as Trippier and as long as Maddison or Son doesn't get injured on Friday, they'll be picked on the weekend. Which the chance of them getting injured on a Friday isn't that much because usually the Friday training isn't as kind of hectic as the previous kind of days. So he should be fine. So that's what I would kind of say. How's it, Dave? You have something on your shirt. It's a Liverpool badge, is Liam Taylor. So yeah, 100. I've got to rep the Liverpool badge. Funny story, I have a retro shirt, the green Liverpool shirt. Couldn't wear it because the green screen was picking it up. So I had to slap on the away kit from, I think it's last season or 2 seasons ago. But to be honest, I love this kit. Even if I didn't support Liverpool, I think the colours would look pretty decent. Copeland saying, hi there, love the live stream. Thank you, Copeland. I do appreciate that. Would you play Cash or Stupinan? I would play Matty Cash, probably. There's a chance that he plays at right wing today. But it's a bit of a tough one, as you said, like between the two options. But I think I would just play whoever has the home game, which is going to be Matty Cash. But thanks for the question and saying that you really like the stream. Emil says Charlie Taylor, Matty Cash, or Kabore. I would play Kabore. He has the two better games. I know you're kind of benching a double gaming player with Charlie Taylor, but I do prefer Kabore, to be honest. We also had a member for 19 months, Ty the Footy Guy. 19 months is absolutely massive. Thank you for the continued support, and thanks for always being in the live streams, Ty. Do always appreciate you. And then also Harry is also 19 months. So you guys both are celebrating your 19-month anniversaries today. Don't worry, guys. I'll treat you both to kind of dinner. Not at the same time. I'll have an individual date with both of you. But thanks for that anniversary celebration of 19 months, guys. I do appreciate it. Same can't be said about the green for that shirt. Yeah, Liam, I mean, I might as well just know wear no shirt. Who do you support, Liam, at the end of the day? Let's see. Sending us knowing that Unkid is going to submit the 20 months in 5 minutes, says Harry Pratt. So, I mean, at least we can celebrate you guys, but I haven't seen Unkid in the chat yet, so maybe he's a bit late to this anniversary dinner. Gid is saying, I've Trippier, Botman, Estupinan, Chilwell, and Baldock. Who to bring in for Chilwell and why? So at the current moment, who to bring in for Chilwell? I would go Matty Cash, Gid. He's just the best option. Villa have some good fixtures coming up. That's who I would recommend. Otherwise, you can go super cheap if you're comfortable with your kind of a Stupinan, Trippier, Botmans. A punt that I might look at is bring in a doggy from Spurs, but you'd obviously have to bench him this week. I think I would probably just go with Matty Cash, though. Has the better fixtures. Diego Dalot is also up there because of the fixtures, but that's who I would go for. Dimitros is saying, thoughts for Antonio coming in for Jackson. Fun Salah next week, place of Saka. I don't exactly know about Antonio. Could you go for Morris this week and maybe just take a punt on him and then maybe just bench him or bring him on for someone else in the future game weeks? I don't exactly know about Antonio though. Yeah, I haven't watched enough West Ham to know. I know they're playing pretty decent at the moment, but Antonio doesn't sound right to me. How long are you going to be patient on your United assets, says Eric. Eric, great question there. Let's kind of go and look at the fixtures. And this is kind of the reason that I'm not really looking to replace them. So unfortunately, you guys can't see the fixture difficulties. Let me just do this quickly. Give me a second. Let me just expand this for you. Alt. Okay, you guys can see the fixtures. Like, I know it's a bit scuffed, but just bear with me for this point. So, as you guys can see, we got Crystal Palace coming up next for these United assets. Then they have Brentford. Look, I don't think Brentford's the worst fixture in the world. I think they are more kind of averagely defensively, but I don't think that's a bad fixture at home. Then they have Sheffield United. The City fixture is terrible. Yes, I know that. It's not a great one. But the kind of City United games sometimes have goals in them. Both teams sometimes score. So, I mean, we might just have to play both of them there. Then they have Fulham, Luton, and Everton. So these three, 11 to 13, look outstanding. So that's why I might actually just keep all of them. Then obviously Newcastle, Chelsea after that don't look that great. So maybe game week 14 we chance them out. But I can't see myself really losing any of their assets unless there's a much better option that I want to look at. Like if a Human, Son, and a Madison just look goated, I might have to take Bruno or Rashford out. But at the current moment, I'm in no rush to take these assets out. I feel like they're teeing along nicely. Yes, every other game week they're blank. But I mean, as long as we're getting some points every single game week, I'm fine with actually keeping them. So that's my current thinking on these assets. I know a lot of you might not like them because United aren't playing well at the moment. But a big thing I'm looking out for this week is all those injuries returning. So we have Mason Mount. I'm hoping that kind of pushes Bruno back into almost a cam slot, maybe a number 10, if Mason Mount plays on the right-hand side. Anthony was back in training after his allegations. So there's a few changes that are going to come into that lineup. Amrabat might be in the starting 11. Who kind of knows? So I'm willing to be patient with them just because the fixtures are so good. And that's why I've mentioned Diego Dalot being an outside punt from a defender, as he's pretty nailed to kind of play most games. Should I play Saka or Sterling? So MD at the current moment, if I had to choose one of them, if Saka's going to be guaranteed to start, I would go for Saka. He's just more consistent. But at the current moment, maybe just put in Sterling. Because Sterling might play up front, which might be quite exciting. Because as you guys know, Nicholas Jackson, the famous striker, is suspended. Chances of Saka starting, says Hussein. I would say maybe like 80%. I think is a good chance. If he trained last week and he's travelled with the squad, I think it's probably looking quite good. Top of the day, Davey says FPL Diamond, top of the day to you too. Hopefully it's a great Saturday. Weather's pretty decent here by me. Hopefully it's pretty decent by you. Why Cash over Digne? Everyone is on Cash. It's just because he's playing more up front. I personally think that he might be more nailed than Luca Digne is. And at the current moment, Alex Moreno is struggling with that kind of injury rehabilitation. So I think that Cash is fine for the future. Having Rashford is a joke. I mean, he's not that bad at the end of the day. He's got me a few points. But yeah, I mean, I can understand that he's not on the kind of same level as Son and Madison have been. But if I look at my future transfer plans, I mean, Saka next week has Man City. I was probably going to take Saka out next week anyways. So we're just going to have to see. Cape Town weather ain't amazing right now. But I mean, you guys do have the mountains. So that's what you guys have over everywhere else in SA. But yeah, I know the Cape Town weather hasn't been that great. Everton asset for a 1 week punt. You could go for them. We spoke about them in the Ultimate Guide. They have one of the best kind of XG per games out of any teams. I think they were like kind of 4th or 5th. So they're putting up a lot of XG. They're just not scoring. So if you want to go for the new signing from Everton, the striker, I mean, he could be a good asset. I just don't know at the current moment. Everton are a bit kind of up and down. Should I take out Jackson or Chilwell and let me know their suitable replacement? So Jackson's is quite a lot tougher. I'd say Morris is the number 1 replacement there if you want to go there. Otherwise, Watkins is a great shot. And then for Ben Shaw, it's one of the Newcastle defenders, or you can go for Diego Dalot or Matty Cash. So those are your kind of replacements off the top of my head that I would look at. What do you think about Beto and Everton? Yeah, so that's the same Hugo that we were talking about. Beto's a great asset to potentially look at. I just worry potentially about Calvert-Lewin coming back into the lineup because I don't exactly know if they're going to play with the two up front. It might just be a sole striker and then those two might rotate. Not interested in Son or Madison. So as a Liverpool fan, I'm just hoping they're blank this week, which probably won't happen as we're pretty bad defensively. But at the moment, I'm not going to take out Saka if he's going to play against Bournemouth. That's just to me doesn't look too great. And all of my other assets, they have fine fixtures in my opinion. But yes, I am scared of Son or Madison. But I mean, the week extra of information might be quite valuable because next week they have Luton, I think. I don't know if it's away or at home. And then they're going to be Captaincy options. So I'm kind of giving myself 1 week of information. Then I'm going to bring in Son or Madison and captain them next week probably. Is Morris long term? He can be long term because he's quite cheap. But I would probably say short term. And then that's why if you guys watch my wildcard draft, I had Morris for this week. And then I had enough money in the bank to take him to Watkins because that's what I would do. Abdul, what is the transfer plan? The transfer plan has already been made this week. It's Kieran Trippier in for Ben Shaw. I did this last night. And then the other transfer we could make is Saka out for Son this week. When are you looking to wildcard? I won't lie to you. I think most managers or FPL content creators are looking at kind of game week 10. I haven't even put a time frame on it. I've literally just going to take it game week by game week. I think I might even wildcard super late, maybe game week 17, game week 18 even. So that's what I'm currently looking at. But if it needs it kind of game week 10 and the fixture swings look pretty good, like if Haaland ends up not doing that well and maybe Salah's just banging it, then I might just have to go for that Salah wildcard. I'm just going to check Twitter quickly to see if there's any news. So at the current moment, I don't see anything. Yeah, so I don't see anything at the moment. The thing is, if Saka's out, like I'm very comfortable taking a -4 for Son. I could go Madison, but I prefer Son. But I just hope that we get news, but I don't exactly know if we will. Who to pick? Watkins, Darwin, or Wilson? So Todd, I'm a Watkins fan. I think Darwin is 100% a great shout as well. I just think Ollie Watkins is nailed. The penalties do side me a little bit away from him, but if you look at kind of a Darwin or Wilson, Darwin's on penalties and Wilson has injury concerns and minutes concerns. So that's why I would say Watkins probably. William says, I do have funds to upgrade, but is Bayer a good option? Are you trying to bring Bayer into your squad? He's a fine option there, but I might go for Kabore if you're going to bring one in. I just don't know about that one. G-Bell says, missed the transfer last night, lost 0.1, hopefully shouldn't. I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference, G-Bell. I've seen a lot of talk this week about kind of people worried about finances with the wild card, but that's just if you want to go for Salah. If you don't want to go for Salah, the money can be spread pretty evenly, so I wouldn't worry about a 0.1 at the end of the day. The thing now that I would do is, G-Bell, maybe don't even make the Chilwell transfer, and if we get kind of other news, if your team's different to mine, you can make other switches. What transfer did you do this week? I brought in Trippier for Ben Chilwell last night. Best 1 week punt. It's Morris this week. As a 1 week punt, you guys have to go. Luke, it has to be a double game week player. So I would say Morris is definitely. Is it likely Madison will play with 5 ice emojis? Yes, I think he's very likely to play. I think him and Son are almost guaranteed to play. As long as they were training this week, which they were, if they picked up like an illness last night at the hotel, or if they picked up some strange injury in the last session, which isn't likely, then maybe, but I think they should be fine. Thoughts on Villa assets versus Brighton assets this week? Watkins and Cash, they're both fine. Brighton can't defend at the moment as well. They're conceding a lot of XG. Your attacking assets should do well. Defensively, I don't know if I'd be that certain, but the only thing about kind of Brighton is I think that Aston Villa are defending on kind of a similar level. I think they're both pretty bad, but because it's a home game, I would probably favor Aston Villa. But that's just, I think both teams score. It's just who do you kind of think will get more attacking returns? Who should I take out, Chua or Jackson? I'm kind of confused. Well, Flame or Fly, both of them preferably, because both of them are going to be missing. Jackson, I think, only misses, how many games does he miss? Only 1 game. So it's fine to bench him this week, and then he has Burnley next week anyways. Whereas Ben Shaw is going to be out for like a month at a minimum. So I would rather take him out. But I understand your confusion, because usually you want to go for an attacking option as your transfer, as they have a high ceiling. Rafa and Reza need to transfer in. I brought in Trippier for Chilwell last night. Have you thought about Alvarez potential not starting? Cheers, Siddharth, I have. But I think even if he doesn't start, he'll come off the bench. And with all those injury concerns about Man City, I think that he's almost guaranteed to get minutes at least. Another question, I'm thinking about going short to Pedro Porro just to have some cover on the bench because of flags and play him versus Luton next week. That's 100% fine, Todd. Udogi or Pedro, just kind of Pedro Porro, just kind of look at those comparisons because when I did that, Udogi had better stats. So that's what I would probably say. Evan Smith saying, cheers, Davey, good luck this week. Good luck to you too, Evan. Hope you have a great weekend. Tarang has been a legend for 13 months. So massive legend member for 13 months. Just a shout out to our man Davey doing a fabulous job. Thank you, Tarang. Thanks also being quite chatty on the Discord. I do appreciate that. Always appreciate when you guys make communication and make talking points over on the Discord server. If you guys want to join it, it's the first link in the description. Who do you think is the best FPL asset between Udogi or Cash? Remember, I have to choose the one you say. I would go Cash because he has the better fixtures. So we can kind of compare the Aston Villa fixtures to the Spurs ones, but I kind of can tell you already that Aston Villa have better fixtures than Spurs do. So I think short term, Spurs have better fixtures. Like it's like the next 3 after this game week. But then after that, it's like Aston Villa have the better fixtures for like 8 game weeks. Dejan saying who? So what is it with Saka? I just tuned in. So the current update on Saka, if you guys don't know, is that he trained yesterday after the press conference. So if you guys remember, Arteta said that, listen, he has to see today if Saka, Rice, there's a whole bunch of options. Just see if they're going to train later. So apparently he trained and then he travelled with the Arsenal squad to Bournemouth. And he was pictured with the team. So I don't exactly think that he would have travelled if he was ruled out. So the worst case I think today is that he's on the bench. So I'm waiting for early team sheet news to see if he is on the bench, because if he does get benched this week, I'll probably take him to Son from -4. So that's the plan with Saka, and that's the update with Saka. So that's why we are waiting for some sheet news. If all the flags play, would you transfer Sterling to James Ward-Prowse? No, I would keep Sterling. I'm fine with Sterling. I know I might seem a little bit like kind of blinded because I own him, or a little bit biased because I own him, but I think that he's fine for this week and next week. He's the best kind of Chelsea attacker at the moment. He's just not converting those chances like he did against Luton. If he does, we're going to be on for a massive haul. So that's what I would say. Dark Lord saying, wildcard, which game week? I don't exactly know. I can't tell you. Most people are looking at the game week 10 wildcard or game week 8 wildcard. But I think I'm taking it one game at a time. One game week at a time. So interesting update. We have had some more votes on the Captaincy poll. And we're currently sitting at 90% versus 10%. So you Morris captainers have risen to 10% of the viewership. Best differentials this week under 10%. Sure, that's a tough one. I don't even know who's owned by less than 10% of players. Let me go and check. I'll just bring it up on my phone on the app quick, and then maybe I can give you some. I'm going to go over midfielders. Let's check the midfielders. Okay. I can rank them by. Can you rank them by team selected by on here? Yeah. Okay, but like now there's just a bunch of 0% owned players. This wasn't the best idea. Okay, Gordon is a good option as long as he doesn't get yellow carded. I would put Diaby there. He's owned by 11%, but that's enough. I mean, Szoboszlai could be a punt if you want to look there. Otherwise, I think that I would potentially look at maybe like a Jota, but I don't know if he's going to be playing. Gibbs White always is pretty decent. The one that's going under the radar is Kulusevski. He's owned by 1.6%. He's also a decent shout. He's also guaranteed to almost play. I think out of those, you probably have your punt. So I would say Bale. Diaby is probably my favorite punt out of those selections. What are your thoughts on Palmer? I think he's a great footballer, but I don't exactly know from an FPL point of view yet, Pedro. But we can always see that. Thanks for also saying top of the morning. Top of the morning to you too. Marius is saying Haaland or Morris for captain. I'm still leaning towards Haaland. I think kind of owning Morris is enough. And the only way I would do this is if Haaland had a worse fixture. But he doesn't. Like, you would have seen that Wolves are terrible defensively. We'll see how midfielders are doing this week. If it's a red arrow for sure, our wildcard next week, says Gary. Yeah, so that's... We might be pushing a bit thin then. Emerson, my Liverpool friend, says JK. Thank you. When you talk about me, do you refer to me as your Liverpool friend? Emerson, I don't know. I don't know about the West Ham defense. I think I'd rather go for other options. Okay, so I don't see any other news. I'm just seeing a lot of news about the Ryder Cup. That's all I'm seeing. I'm surprised that I haven't had any Ireland fans in the chat this week, because we were going back and forth a bit last week. So I've had no backlash after the loss last weekend. So I appreciate that. Thank you to you Irish fans for being quite gracious in victory. Thoughts on Almiron? He's a fine option. I'm just struggling to kind of predict that lineup of Newcastle at the moment, but I think that he should be fine. Buzzing watching the Ryder Cup, says Harry. I mean, what better way to spend your weekend? And I mean, EU is absolutely trouncing America at the moment. So I think most of you guys are European, so you're probably enjoying that one quite a bit. Anish saying, please answer this time with 3 laughing emojis, 3 skull emojis. Hopefully it's not a threat, Anish. I have 2 free transfers. What do you think about transferring Saka and Rashford out for Son and Maddison? Not this week. I just keep those 2. Unless you think that Liverpool are simply terrible, which hopefully you think you don't. But yeah, you can do that next week. I understand because you have 2 free transfers, but maybe if we get Saka news, you can just take him to Maddison or Son. Otherwise, I'll just keep those 2. Would you go cash over Podro, by the way? I think I would. I think I would go with Matty Cash as my kind of like third option. I'd say the Newcastle options are number 1, and then I'd say Cash is second or third. Sarah saying, hi there, my friend. Play Stupinan and roll or bring in Kobore for Chilwell. Can you only afford Kobore, or could you afford another Newcastle defender? Because if you can afford a Newcastle defender, then just go for like a Botman, a Burn. If you can't afford Trippier, I understand. Can you afford a Shaw? I would just do that rather than... and then you can just bench a Stupinan if you want to. As long as it's a free transfer. Bench Saka or Maddison. Based on information, you bench Saka and you play Maddison, because we don't exactly know if Saka's going to start. Do you think Saliba will be playing? Will he? Apparently he travelled with the squad. I think that he will. For me, it's that one's kind of, as a centre-back, if he doesn't play, he's not going to come off the bench, I expect. So I think you find just starting him. Hashem saying, hello, just joined. What's the plan for today? The plan for today is to take a little bit of a chilled one, watch Liverpool trounce Spurs a bit late on, and then go to bed. But in terms of FPL, it's going to be to wait for early Saka news. The reason for this is that we made the Trippier move last night for Chilwell. And if Saka's out, we're going to be taking him to Son. Spurs got Luton. Do you start Cash over Stupinan this week? So I understand that one, Todd. That's probably the only reason, but it's almost like you're looking at... That's why I said for the short term, if you want a short-term punt, I would go with the Spurs assets. But if you're looking at a medium-term punt, go for the Aston Villa ones. Because like as you said, the next 3 after this game week for Spurs are really strong. But then if you look at kind of the medium term, Aston Villa a lot better. So if you're looking for that kind of rotation of the short term, I would go with the Spurs assets. But if I had to choose one without a wild card in sight, I would go for Cash. When would you make your transfer, Dark Lord? I'd make it probably as soon as we get early team sheet news. But at the current moment, with 30 minutes to go, I've seen nothing. That's what I will say. What's the first game today? Oh, Aston Villa Brighton. It's the first game. So we might get early team sheet news about that game. But other than that, I don't know. Sorry, I clicked on an advert. But yeah, we've had nothing. What are the chances of Botman starting? Apparently he does start today. That was like the rumored lineup. Is Stupinan or Walker? Definitely go for Walker, low man. That's almost a no-brainer in my opinion. Just as long as Walker starts. If he starts, I think you're golden. He's been looking pretty good. Hashem saying thanks and enjoy your day after FPL. No worries, brother. Thanks for dropping by. So I wanted Sterling to Maddison this week, but thinking to do Saka to Son as it was my plan next week. Suggest. So Abhilash, this was the same as my plan. Next week was Saka to Son. The Sterling to Maddison move though, I don't exactly like it this week. Yes, Maddison and Son could do great, but I mean, it is a little bit of a tougher game against Liverpool. Their defensive numbers haven't been that bad this season, and Sterling plays against Fulham, who are pretty bad. So I would say keep Sterling, and if you can just roll a transfer, do that. But if we do get news about Saka, then we can take him to Son. Salah Hadi incoming. I hope so. What I do want to ask, if someone can go and just monitor Andy Let's Talk FPL stream and then come back if there is any information, that would be appreciated. Obviously, I don't get the team sheet news that he does, but if there is any team sheet news, just let me know. Just drop it by. I'm pretty sure I'll upload it on Twitter, though, if he does get anything. Glenn, what are the chances of Saka and Maddison playing? If I had to do a prediction, I'd probably say like 80% Saka and I'd say 95% Maddison. But that's only a prediction. He had only Newcastle. Okay, wait, let me just check there, Abhilash. Okay, Abhilash, I don't know if you're referring to your previous question, but I don't exactly get that. Is it worth getting rid of Saka, Wunderkind, just for one benching? So, Harry, the reason I'm taking the Wonder Child out is that Saka has a pretty tough run next. So he has Man City, Chelsea, then Newcastle. And I get like the Sheffield United game is great, but maybe Wildcard game week 10 anyways. But for the next three, if he's going to miss Bournemouth, which is the game I wanted him for, I'd much rather take him to Son, who, let me just, sorry, I need to just do this. I'd much rather take him to like a Son or a Maddison, who have Luton and Fulham then. And Son is probably a captain option then. Or Maddison. Whoever I bring in will probably be my captain because Haaland has Arsenal. And then they have Fulham. So these two games are much better than the Saka ones. So I'm willing to take that punt for 2 game weeks and a captain. So I get the Saka love. Like Saka's been super consistent. I'm not saying that he won't score against Man City and Chelsea. It's just rather those are better. G-Ball saying Chelsea easy fixture, I'd say, to be honest. Maybe from an attacking defensive point of view, but attacking wise, the Chelsea defense hasn't been that shabby. Okay, I meant Andy only had Newcastle news. Thanks, Abhilash. What was the Newcastle news? Was it that Botman's playing? Because I saw that one over on Twitter. Okay, if you guys want a Man City predicted team sheet, I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you? Okay, no, I don't want it to like go out of focus. Am I still in focus? Just tell me. Let me just check. Flip. I think I've just taken it out of focus again. Okay, no, we still look adequate. Okay, so you can't see that, but Luke on Twitter, dis_FPL, has done his prediction for Man City. He's usually pretty decent. He has Edison, Ake, Diaz, Akanji, Walker, Kovacic, Nunez, Doku, Alvarez, Foden, Haaland. So that's his projected lineup. So he's usually pretty decent with them. So the biggest talking points are Doku, Alvarez, Foden, and Walker starting. But otherwise, Akanji, Diaz, and Ake. Okay, Abhilash, so Botman and Wilson are starting apparently. That's according to Andy. Thanks for that one. So if you guys have Botman or have Wilson, apparently they're starting. Let me just catch up on chats. Sup, bro, what's the plan for today? My team is shot to pieces as well. The plan was last night we did Trippier in for Chilwell, and the plan now is to just wait for early Saka team sheet news. That's basically what we're going to be doing. I'm a bit late today, says Sky. Would it be wise to transfer Stupinan to Kabore? No, Sky, I would just keep a Stupinan. He has some great figures coming up. Mario is saying Maddison or Diaby or Maddison or Diaby or Maddison for Mbeumo. Okay, so Maddison or Diaby from Mbeumo. I'd go Maddison. What are your thoughts on the 3 p.m. kickoffs, underdogs winning? If Bournemouth, Luton, Palace, Burnley, Sheffield United and Wolves win, I turn £1 into £127,000. Flights to SANV, lads. Harry, okay, wait, what are the games at 3? Okay, so you're saying Bournemouth beat Arsenal, Luton beat Everton, which I guess that's not that bad. Crystal Palace beating United, Burnley beating Newcastle, Sheffield United beating West Ham, Wolves beating Man City. If you win that, brother, I think I might have to pay you that money because, I mean, if that hits, that's absolutely mental. But Harry, I wouldn't I wouldn't put too much faith in that one. But as you said, it's £1. So, like, I mean, it is what it is. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think you should reserve those flights anytime soon. I don't think that's going to hit. But I appreciate the comment. Adam saying, do I keep Saka in, hope he plays, or transfer him out for Son? Adam, it's the same situation I'm in, brother. I'm waiting for Saka team sheet news. If we don't get any news, I'm just keeping Saka. What's on paper in front of us is that he trained yesterday. He traveled with the squad. I mean, that should tell us that he's at least on the bench. Comes off the bench, could get a return, but I'm not willing to take him out if he starts against Bournemouth. That's just the end of the day. Yeah, Harry, free money. Shamir saying, would you transfer Watkins to Alvarez for a -4? No. I would keep either side. If you have Alvarez, you keep him. If you have Watkins, you keep him. Andy, how's it? I thought you announced your don't have Discord, Mr. Okay, Andy, that's my bad. I do apologize for that one, brother. I should have announced it over on YouTube. I simply forgot. I did it quite late at night, so I do apologize for that one. And thanks for keeping me accountable. Yes, I should have posted it to the YouTube on the YouTube chat as well. I just posted it over on Discord, so yeah. But I would heavily suggest getting Discord if you don't have it. I'm not just saying that because of what's happened, but even if you just have it on your phone, it's quite a nice app just to have to keep up with the news. But yeah, I should have posted it over on the community page, so yeah, apologies for that one. I will give you that 0.1 million in the future, so just I'll owe it to you, Andy. Onana against Crystal Palace or Areola against Sheffield United, says Joshua. Let's maybe check some odds here. I'm just going to go on this monitor to fix, and I will tell you shortly who has the better stats. Okay, let's toggle. Okay, wait, I just... Okay, so that's the team view, and then we're going to go expected numbers, expected clean sheets. So you want Areola or Onana? Okay, so West Ham versus United. Okay, so United have the better defensive numbers, and their opposition, Crystal Palace versus Sheffield United. Okay, so Sheffield United are bottom for XG non-penalty. And Crystal Palace aren't that great. So it's very even. I would say based on the stats, if you want to go for the stats, I would say that I'd probably say that West Ham have the edge slightly. But it's a very close one between those two. I would maybe say that because of the injury to Martinez, I would go for Areola. But yeah, it's pretty close. Sidemen Short saying, I will do Son in next week anyways. And if I do Son this week, it most likely cash in for Stupinan. So it really comes down to Saka versus Son this week. Yeah, so that's why for me, it's like I'm willing to give Saka this week as long as he plays. Christopher saying, Davey or Dominic Calvert-Lewin start. I don't exactly know. I don't exactly know if he's going to be playing. I think he might come off the bench because of fitness concerns. That's what I'd say. Why didn't you post last night transfers for members on YouTube? So Hashem, it depends. Are you a Legend member? Because if you were a Legend member, then I should have posted it on the YouTube chat. But I did post it over on Discord for the Legends. But if you are a supporter or just a member, then I don't post my team news for you guys. Okay, let's check. Why is everyone hyped about Diaby? Poor underlying MI. He is, but I think he's almost one of those good finishers. So I get the stats aren't great. It just seems like Watkins isn't that great of an option as well. So it's almost like Diaby slightly cheaper. So it might be just better to go for him if you want a slice of that Aston Villa pie. Okay, let's check. Okay. Okay, so there's been some sources on Twitter, but I don't know if they confirmed. But they said that Saliba and Saka start, Botman, Trippier, Shaw, Gordon, Wilson start, and Son and Madison start. So that's like it's not like a very 100%. It's not 100% confirmed, but it looks like that's like the rumor. But yeah, it hasn't been confirmed, so I don't exactly know. But yeah, we have had some news here of potential Saka starting. So I'll just repeat this, please. This is not confirmed, but Saliba and Saka start. Botman, Trippier, Shaw, Gordon, Wilson start, and Son and Maddison start. So the biggest one there is probably the Saka one. So if Saka is going to be starting, then we will just not bank the transfer, we just won't take the hit. So I'll just play Saka against Bournemouth. Edison or Areola, I'd play Edison. The Man City numbers are just too good. What do you think about Darwin on a wild card? I like him. I think he's going to play against Spurs. And like whenever he plays, he seems to get points. So I think I like him as an option. It just depends if you go for kind of a front three then, because I would probably have Morris over him this week, and then you can always go for him next week or the week after. Saka to Son or Henry to Botman. Saka to Son. So based on the current news, I would do the latter because it seems like Saka is going to be playing. But I would still wait for about maybe 10 more minutes before you do that move. Look, I don't think the servers are going to crash today, so I think that we should be fine for kind of late transfers. Will Botman play? I think that it looks like he will. Burn start. Yeah, Igor Burn I don't think was the concern. I think he was only sick for the midweek fixture, but I think that he should be fine. Well, I know double game week players, you can't have them all, and I'm not going to kind of rip up my team to bring in someone. So for example, the only one that I'd probably look at is bringing in Morris, and I'm not going to take out Alvarez before Wolves if he's going to play. Yes, if we got news that maybe he wasn't going to start, then I could do that move, but it's not worth it in my opinion. And other players is probably like Kabore at 4.0 million, and I'm not going to bring him in for like a -4. Visa 1 more week, sell after. Yeah, I think you have to give Visa 1 more week. It's just too good of a fixture, Daniel. Crystal Palace defender or Man United defender? I would go Man United defender. That's my suggestion. I'm benching Johnston because I own Rashford and Bruno. I missed the price change. Trippier went up 0.2. Would you still bring in Trips? I think it's still fine. Look, at the end of the day, like if you're going to keep him for the medium term, what is 0.2? I missed the first price rise on Sunday, so I've only missed kind of 0.1. So I think it's fine to still bring him in. Did you just say Botman is a shot? No. What Botman? No, Botman should start. I don't know if I said he's a shot, but it looks like he's going to be playing. Trippier in, Chilwell out from -4. If don't, Doggy plays. That's a tough one, Igor. Because what you're saying there is that, let's just say Doggy gets 2 points. To pay off that hit, Trippier has to get a clean sheet, which I think is a good chance, and then an attacking return will put you in the positive. I think I would go for Trippier still from -4. But just look at your overall team structure in the future game weeks. And Nikhil, Saka going to play on the current news? It's going to potentially. Yeah, who needs 0.2 exactly? You can just pay off. You can pay FPL that. Just deposit into their account. Saliba starting on current rumors. Yes. Am I crazy for captaining Foden over Haaland? You're not crazy. It's just apparently. Okay, cool. So Foden and Alvarez start. Lazy FPL confirmed it. So big news, guys. Foden and Alvarez start. So that just confirms the Alvarez in move. I'm just going to keep him. That's fine in my opinion. Let's see if we get any other team sheet news. But guys, as I said, Foden and Alvarez start, and that's confirmed. So lazy FPL is always pretty decent with Man City news. So that is that's the news. So to answer your question about Foden, it's not crazy. It's just if you were to go differential, I don't know if I'd go within the same fixture. Because what you're saying there is that you expect Man City to do well, and therefore Haaland could in turn do well, and you're just hoping that Foden outperforms him. To me, that doesn't make as much sense as kind of going out of the fixture or captaining Morris, for example. Crystal Palace defender or Chelsea defender? Chelsea defender, easy. Fancy a punt on Foden? Yeah, Foden could be a good shot. Obviously, I can't really move there, but I think if Alvarez is going to be starting, I'm happy. This might be finally I get some points for that transfer, because last week, as you guys know, Rodri decided to get a red card. Edison or Turner, whom should I play? I'd play Edison, Nikhil. That's an easy one for me. Is it risky benching a Stupinan for Diaz? Gavin, no. Thank you for reminding me. I have to do my draft. Let me just do my draft team quickly. I completely forgot about that, but I do have Diaz in my draft team, so that's why I just wanted to change it. Let me just check. Okay, let me play Ben White. Other than that, the team looks pretty fine, and I'm going to save it. So thank you for that reminder there, but I definitely played Diaz over Stupinan. Went for Gordon since Barnes is injured. The only reason that you'll regret it is that if he gets a yellow card soon. That's the only reason you'll regret it. At his cheaper price point, he doesn't have to return every now and again. Sorry if answered already. Best forward to replace is Edouard in a similar price bracket. Can you go Morris? Then I might just go for him. In the similar bracket, I mean, you could just get an Alvarez, but that's very short term. Yeah, I don't know. Bukenya is saying, giving you a like because of your top. So thank you for the love. Finally, some Liverpool love. Everyone's just, not everyone, just Liam has been tuning in Liverpool. But thank you for the love. Thanks for the like. Should I start Onana or Turner? I would go for Onana, to be honest. Start Turner or Flecken? To me, I would go for Flecken. Just because I think that Brentford are slightly more attacking. But Nottingham Forest are at home. And they've been scoring recently. I think I would go for Flecken though. Play Neto versus City or Stupinan. I would go for a Stupinan. Start Saka or Maddison. Preferably both. But if Saka's guaranteed to play, which it looks like, I would go with Saka as the better fixture. Davey, why so many people waiting for news before they set their teams? There might be a crash. Would you? I don't think there's going to be a crash. I don't think there's enough. The only reason there'll be a crash is if there was a lot of wild cards and that sort of thing being activated. I think this week there won't be that much movement. So you can, obviously it's a risk, Dark Lord. Like if the site crashes and you haven't done your transfer, you just have to put your hands up and say that it was worth the risk. But I don't think it's going to crash. Play Sterling and roll. No, I would play Sterling this week, Adam. That's what I'm pretty comfortable doing that. Okay, Diaz and Haaland start as well. So Ruben Diaz and Haaland start. So right now we have Diaz, Haaland, Foden and Alvarez. Okay, I haven't seen anything else though. Okay, yeah. So on current news, like on based on confirmed news, is the Man City news. But in terms of rumors, Saka, Saliba, Botman start. Cammy saying, how did we survived Ajax versus Feyenoord last weekend and ready for this game week? That's crazy. That must have been a great game to go and watch. How was it at the end of the day? And how was the Netherlands? Start Trippier or Morris? Morris, you have to go for Morris, but I would definitely start Trippier. Who's your defense at the moment that you're benching Trippier? LFC versus Spurs. We had a big game for the title competition, says Amar. I mean, hopefully it's going to be a big game. Kevin said, already having Trippier who to replace Chol with. I'd go Matty Cash, or you can go for Udogie or Pedro Porro. All the team news, says Luke. Yeah, we are getting a bunch of team news in. As I said, Man City news. Foden, Alvarez, Diaz, Haaland. Rumors, Newcastle is Trippier, Botman, Shaw, Gordon, Wilson. And then Arsenal rumors is Saka, Saliba start. Siddharth, thank you for the hard work. Gonna monitor Andy FPL for the last 10 minutes. 100% fine. Thank you for dropping by and thank you for being a legend for 19 months, Siddharth. Do always appreciate the love that you show in these live streams. Absolutely massive. Thank you for the continued support. Benching headache. Which three would you start? Akanji, Saliba, Botman, Trippier, and Estupinan. I would bench Estupinan. I would start Trippier. I'd start Botman and I'd start Akanji. And then I would put Saliba and Estupinan on the bench. Just because of they don't have as much attacking threat and Saliba might still be a doubt. Botman, Cash, Estupinan. I would potentially play So did you say benching Trippier? But then just bench Botman, Marius. Let me just check here. Start Trippier, Marius. Just start Trippier over Botman. And then that's fine. So bench Botman, play Trippier, and then play Morris. Any news on Gabriel starting Cash? I'd assume that he plays because of all the injuries that they've had. In a predictions game, I think Everton will bang against Luton. Score. I think it's going to be 3-1 to Everton. I'm going Merseyside. Merseyside is always going to be 3-1, it seems. I'm a little bit tempted to do Mbeumo to Foden for a punt. Yes, Mbeumo has a good fixture, but so does Foden. That's very kind of short term though. If you're gonna be wildcarding soon, then I get it, but I don't know. Don't have Trippier yet. Oh, you don't have Trippier yet, says Morris. Are you saying should you bring in Morris or should you bring in Trippier? If you're gonna captain Morris, then bring him in. Otherwise, go for Trippier. Okay, so we have that other news. Grealish is on the bench, but you kind of knew that. So what I would assume then is that Doku is starting left. So apparently, yeah, Grealish is on the bench. Pelestri starts for Manchester United. That's interesting. So if you guys want to enable a 4.4. Jan is saying, Davey, the most underrated FPL. Underrated. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I thought it said undrafted. I was like, that also makes sense. Estupinan or Kabore. Kabore. I'd play Kabore this week if you guys own him. After having Sterling for 3 miserable game weeks, I sold him. So, time for him to score again, I guess. I can already tell. I hope he scores because I have him in my team. So, if you have sacrificed your own team for mine, I do appreciate it. Innocent saying, very random. Anybody know why Anderson, Luton defender, didn't play last week? That is a bit random. Was he on the bench? If he's on the bench, that might be a little bit of a worry. But otherwise, I don't know. Let me check for you. So he played midweek, but as you said, he didn't play the previous week. But did he play the Fulham game? Yeah, I don't know. I think you might as well just start him Innocent, but it's a tough one. He might be benched. Is it only the one change, David? Yes, it is, Mohammed. Only the one change. I think I'm going to keep Saka. Is Madison going to play? Yes, he should play. What do you think about Salah, Davey? I think that he's the GOAT. Obviously not better than like Messi, but like in terms of the Prem. Connor, but yeah, I would want him in my team. It's going to be a pain watching him destroy Spurs later on. But I can't have them all in my team, and it will require a lot of restructuring if I was to get him in. Because as you guys can see, that side, 1.6 in the bank, can't afford him as a straight swap. On a wild card, Trippier and Mbeumo or Shaw and Madison? Shaw and Madison. That's what I would go for. I think Madison's almost essential on a wild card. I'd go with the double up. Mars says if Sterling doesn't score this game, I don't exactly know what that comment means. But yeah, I can think of something that it relates to Amar, but I want to say that on stream. But hopefully you're just in art school and you will get kicked out. I suggest that you write somewhere in the corner who starts when you have news about it. Thanks for the Igor. Yeah, that's a thing. That's something that I should do. Let me just post my team to the Discord server quickly, and then we'll do a quick fire round. So get your guys' questions in, so that I can do a quick fire round for you. Is Son going to be available? Yes, he should be. Okay, let me just post that. Okay, cool. Let's go a bit up before the quick fire round. Okay, so lastly, with 5 minutes to go, I'm going to do a last refresh of Twitter But please let me know. Please let me know if we do get any early team sheet news over on Twitter. But I don't think we do. So I'm going to go into the quick fire round. Okay. Let's go a bit up here. Every time you've said Morris, I thought you were saying Morris. I've been so confused. You can always get Morris, Cammy. I think he'll have a great game in the Saudi League. Could get a Hattie, but no, I'm talking about Morris. Kabore or Botman? I would go for Kabore this week, Chucks. Saliba replacement. It seems like Saliba's going to start, David, so I would just probably keep him. Chances of Son starting, almost 100%, I'd say. No transfers. Dark Lord, Trippier in for Cho last night. Otherwise, no transfers. Bring in Botman or stay with Bayer. Stay with Bayer. On a wildcard, Trippier and Mbumo. I can already answer that one. Bench Sterling or Mbumo. I would bench, yes, neither of them. Juan, I would try and get another, try and take someone else out. Bench one, Saka versus Rashford, Estupinan versus Kabore. Bench one of those, Saka or Rashford. Maybe Rashford. Estupinan versus Kabore, I'd bench Estupinan. Sell Rashford or Fernand for Son. Already got Madison. I would just keep both of those done this week. Start two of Cash, Botman or Madison. I'd start Madison and I'd start Botman. Diaz to a Newcastle defender or hold this week. Keep Diaz, Sean, Kabore or Cash in this week for a transfer. I would do Cash in this week, Ethan, for the long term. Green arrows, yes, hopefully. Estupinan or Botman. I'd go Botman. Is Son going to be available? Yes, he will. So Watkins for Alvarez. No, just keep Watkins. Bayer or Estupinan. I'd go Bayer. If you have a double gaming player defender, I'll start them. Start Saka or Estupinan, you start Saka. Bench one, okay, I already answered that. Sell Rashford, I already answered that. Ramsdale to Sanchez. Flip, I just missed that one. Okay, Ramsdale to Sanchez plus Morris in for a -4. Ramsdale to Sanchez. Can't you just start your backup goalkeeper? Play one of Cash, Bayer or Estupinan. I'd play Bayer. Cash or Botman. I'd go Botman, Kevin. Diaz to a Newcastle defender. No, Sean, I already said keep him. Team locked. Yes, well, the team is locked. Good luck, have fun, says Philippe. Thank you, Philippe. Do appreciate it. Will Son play? Yes, he will. I think he should. Obviously, I don't have a guarantee, guys, but I'm pretty sure he will. No double game week, as Joe, no. They won't be happy with me, but we'll see. Wouldn't you want Archer ahead of a doggy on the bench? Okay, yeah, sorry. Let me just get this bench right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that reminder. Okay, cool. Thanks for that reminder of the bench. Good luck, Goat, says Connor. Thank you, appreciate it. Good luck, everyone, for GW7. What says Morris? Good luck to you too, Morris. First bench, Estupinan or a doggy. I would go for Estupinan. Captain Morris or Haaland? Milos, I would still go for Haaland, but I can understand the Morris kind of attraction. Haaland out for Hoyland. No, Ricky, just keep the Norwegian. Trippier for a -4. If you don't have any other bench coverage, I would do it for a -4. Rashford to Son, I would just keep Rashford. Mbumo or Saka start, I would start Saka over Mbumo AQ, but preferably I want both of them. Non-wildcarders need the United boys to bang in the goals. Yes, 100%. Saka benched. Hopefully not. Flip. Let me see. I don't see anything about that. Yeah, I don't see any early team sheet news about that. Saliba or Estupinan, I'd go for Saliba. Costas, is Botman playing Soccer TV? Should. Good luck, says well. Good luck to you too. Jason saying good luck, Davey boy. Thank you. Do appreciate it, Jason. Other questions are done because that's the deadline, guys. Time is going to be up. The team is locked in. Let's just hope that Saka plays. Otherwise, it's not going to look too great. Adam, that's why you underrate Smash all the questions. No, 100%. Thank you, Adam. I think it's just because I don't get as many super chats, though, to be fair to probably the bigger streamers. But I do appreciate the kind words. And as you've said, fingers crossed for green arrows all around, bro. So if everyone in the stream can get a green arrow, which won't be impossible, don't worry, I've done the math. We can all get a green arrow and still be pretty happy. But thank you for joining this deadline stream. Sorry it was a bit all over the place because of the kind of early team sheet news, but it seems like we have got a few confirmed team sheets, which is what we're going to be looking for. Jakubas, thank you. Good luck to you too. Hopefully we do well against Tonga this weekend. And otherwise, hopefully you have a safe weekend. Let's get 100 points this week. I can feel it, says Dejan. Have a good weekend. Harry, thank you for the laughs this stream. And fingers crossed Saka starts. And fingers crossed that he bangs as well. Thank you for the content. Congrats for the new PC. Thanks, Omar. Morris Captain Crew says G-Rid. Good luck to you guys too. If you guys are taking it, anyone that doesn't captain Haaland every week, I have faith in you. I admire your courage, and I generally hope that Morris bangs for you, G-Rid. But I'm going to wrap up this deadline stream with, as I always say, hopefully the green arrow's in your guys' favor, and hope you guys have a banging weekend along with a banging FPL score. I'll see you guys for the normal Game Week 8 content next week, and otherwise stay safe. I'm signing off. It's been Davey FPL, and I'm out. Cheers. Bye.